Well, in a state like this and in a fight like this, or in a disagreement like this, there are always difficulties. And as long as these difficulties and disagreements continue, there's a tendency for there to be one kind of friction or the other. You see, when there are disagreements, some people want to benefit from them, and others want to be just spoilers. Really, the governor has, I think, at this time, realized that at the end of the day, the buck stops on his table. His performance or non-performance will be credited against him. So I think he has decided that in spite of the issues around him, he has to continue with the governance of the state and continue with the things he was voted to do. A lot of the other people do not necessarily have any real score to be scored. Nobody will ask them how the state was governed. Nobody will ask them whether they succeeded or not. So if anything goes wrong at the end of the day, Fubara will take the bullet. So knowing that, I believe that being a man who has been, a lot of people say he's not a politician, maybe yes, he's not, but he has been an administrator for a long time to become the accountant general of a state. I know accountants are always accounting. They take scores of whatever they do, and they try as much as possible to ensure that they give back results, or they take audits and give out results of what they have done. So in his realization that he has a mandate from the people to ensure that they are well governed, they will ask him about the monies he's spending and all those things. He has to go on implementing projects and commissioning them.
Dr. Renabere, what has the role been of the Elders Forum? Now, you've been a champion for South-South issues, right from the days of the South-South People's Assembly. And now we have the Rivers Elders Forum because this is a River State issue. What has the role of you, the elders, been in resolving this lasting issue between both parties? And would you say it's yielding results? Because last time I checked, you, the elders, had gone to court, in support of one side.
I think I would like to beg your pardon on that issue. The elders who went to court just want to know how the Constitution has stated things and whether people are following them. You see, Nigeria is a country of laws, without which we'll be in serious chaos. And you see, when people start things, they should look at the end game from the beginning. You cannot run a country without rules, and the Constitution is the grand norm of all the laws. So when things go wrong, the first thing as a proper elder to do is to find out whether these things are according to our laws. And it's after you find out that you try to intervene and make reasonable adjudications. In fact, traditionally, even before the era of courts, elders settle cases. Now, we as elders from the beginning have not been too happy that the former governor has been a lot on the present governor to go according to his ways. Even from the beginning, most of the commissioners were appointed by him. The former governor hardly said anything. Even the present governor hardly said anything. Even during the campaign era, people hardly heard the voice of Governor Fubara. And even from then, we saw ominous signs. In fact, people went on to say that former Governor Wike was trying to do a third term through his protege, Governor Fubara now. And we saw those signs. We were weary about it. If you take a proper census of those who voted for Fubara, you'll see that the votes were not all for Fubara. The votes were scattered. A lot of well-thinking people were a bit worried about voting for Fubara because they felt that voting for Fubara was voting for Wike. In that vein, a lot of people who might have voted for him on his own merit did not vote for him. And of course, when he appeared, when he eventually became governor, we all supported him because there can be only one governor. Whether you voted for Kolo, you voted for Itubo from Labour Party, whoever you voted for, when the governor emerges, you expect to rally around him. And that was what we tried to do. So it's not a question of siding one person, because I'm sure a lot of people in the Elders Forum, even now, if they were to pick
Doc,
a governor,
just before we go,
not have picked,
just before we go, Doc, the former president, Dr. Jonathan, has given his own take on this, calling for a truce, in the River State political crisis, and asking both men, Nyesom Wike and Fubara governor, to work together. What do you think the former president means, and what will you say is a lasting solution to this political friction?
Well, working together generally is the right thing to do. In fact, I was head of a committee. Even during the last dispensation, we had a powerful Minister of Transportation in Amechi and a powerful governor in Wike, and they didn't work together, and Rivers State lost a lot. So if today we have a powerful Minister of Federal Capital Territory and we have a strong governor, if they work together, the synergy will play well. Rather than synergizing, what we are seeing right now is trying to pull him down. And that's why we are very unhappy, because those of us who went to court, our main reason is to salvage the River State, salvage the soul of the River State. And in so doing, we are not after, in fact, if you looked at that case, we are not after Sim, we are not after Wike, we are after the right thing to be done. If today the Constitution was made clear from the day those assemblymen walked out and crossed carpet and they were put in their proper place, by-elections should have long been held, and we'll have a full House of Assembly who will do the right thing. If at the end of the day...
Dr. Iranaberry, we have to leave with that. Dr. Kalada Dick Iranaberry, he's a medical practitioner and, of course, chairman of the Finance Committee of the Rivers Elders and Leaders Forum, of course, throughout this week. And following from last week, News Central, we have a team on ground as we cover a special coverage of the political crisis in River State.